Welcome everyone, and we're going to wish you a Merry Christmas. The podcast won't be here until after Christmas, but we're doing it on Christmas Eve, and we want to give you a wish of tidings, cheer, and the magic of Christmas. May your heart become light, and you hold your family close, and be thankful that you are here in this dimension enjoying our world, because it could always be worse. Go ahead, Kenny.
Bells will be ringing, the class I do. Oh, what a Christmas. Do what you gotta do. My baby's gone. I have no friends. Crazy. What up, Scally?
What's up, Kenny? Are you all set up for Christmas? Kenny told me a very disheartening thing just a little while ago. Now, he got his job suspended, and we're not going to go into the technical thing, but it's a bullshit deal. So, hey, if there's anybody out there in Las Vegas, look me up and see if you can get Brother Kenny a job so he can, that's some bullshit that somebody lets you go right around Christmas time when you got gifts to do and mouths to feed. So anyway,
Bad world.
Yeah, it is, man. It's a bullshit. But what I hope that somebody out there in the great podcast land will recognize Kenny's great talent, and he can do a lot of things. The man is a juggler. He's got a lot of knowledge. So if you got a job out there, hook my man up. Okay. Now, okay, Kenny. You did your intro song and stuff like that. So what we're going to talk about here is I've got a bone to pick with the world here, as you know, and we have talked about it several times before, that I'm not a big religious person,
Yeah.
and maybe it's because I'm damaged there, Kenny. I might be damaged. I may have lost faith because, I've seen a lot of shit that make me see the dirtiness and horribleness in the world.
Mm-hmm.
You look at things and you say, why is that? And then no answer comes back. The only answer comes back is because it is, and maybe it's beyond the scope of my human endeavor, my existence, my mental plane. Maybe it's beyond me, but I have to ask those questions because, as Nietzsche said, I think, therefore I am. So, anyway, what I want to ask about is that the Holy Land, right now, I want to know if the people really believe in this religion that they profess, that they try to incorporate you in there. Now, you're a believer there, Kenny. And I want you to reconcile this with me. This is supposed to be the Holy Land, and these people are doing some unholy shit right now. Okay. What happened to their faith? What happened to the goodwill to all mankind?
The way the world going today, bro, ain't no more goodwill.
Yeah.
Ain't no more good at all, bro. Everything is either greed or selfishness. You know what I mean?
Oh, well, you see, I sound like I've lost hope. But see, you seem like you've lost more hope than me, Kenny. Because I believe really, and you're going to think I'm crazy. I've seen I've had my face in the ass of the world for a lot of years, seeing shit that nobody should ever see, okay? And can't unsee it. I carry around, I once saw a cartoon, Kenny, and it was on, what do they call it, Pinterest. And it was a little kid, and he's looking on at a firefighter, and the firefighter is doing CPR, and the kid turns to his father, and he said, Dad, do you think that affects them by these people that the people that they lost and saved or couldn't save. And he says, no, son, I think they're special people. And in that guy's head, there's a fucking line of all the people that never leaves him, that he's always haunted with. And welcome to my life. So that is what it's like to be, because you shut your eyes sometime and you see some things that will make a normal person just weep. And you sit there and say, how did I survive this and still have a consciousness, and still am able to have a cogent conversation with you, you see? Because by all rights, I should have been in a straitjacket. So, but anyway, what when people ask me that, I always said, because you have to live on the good and not the bad. You have to see the saves that you miraculously did, like some kid falling in the pool and been down in there for like 20 minutes. And there's no way in hell's earth that there's supposed to be a kid's supposed to be able to survive underwater for 20 minutes, but they come out of it and they go about their lives. And that's amazing and a miracle. So those are the things that make you, I think, balance out that yin and yang. I'm not going to get into heavy stuff like that, but I just wanted to say that I have not given up on mankind on that, because I've seen the goodness of people and I've seen the ass of people a lot. But I believe in kind of like I always said about the black person. The black person believes in America. A white person believes in America because it's been good to him. Okay? I got a good job. I got a good pension. My life is great. I got a nice house and a car. Well, that's America to me. But when a black person believes in America, he believes in what it will be. Not what it is today, but what it will be. And that is some hellacious faith. Do you disagree, Kenny?
It's crazy, bro. All this shit is crazy, man.
Well,
it's hard to believe anything. All you be doing, everything is a lie. Anything to make the next man feel better, and they don't give a fuck nobody else.
I ever tell you that statement? Unless above himself, man cannot stand erect. You ever heard that before, Kenny?
No, I ain't never heard it. Can you repeat it?
Unless above himself, man can never stand erect. Okay. You want me to break down what that means?
Yeah, break it down.
Okay. Unless I look upon someone else as less than I am, I cannot feel good about myself.
And do you think that's somebody taught them that, or they was just?
No, I think if you look at it, I think that's the human condition. I think that's how people think, I think that's how people manipulate people. So, you could have it worse. You see, somebody could tell you, somebody come to you, well, you could be worse. You could be homeless. You could be worse, but unless you're looking down at someone, but we shouldn't have to look down on. If we believe in the gospel that we say, then we're supposed to be equals. And we see our brother in distress or without in trouble. Okay, when we see people are homeless, we don't spit on them as just like that. What's that? Bruce Hornsby in the Rain. There's a verse. A man on the street passes an old lady, and just for fun, he says, "Get a job."
Yeah.
That's a verse in the song. That's just the way it is. Some things will never change. But the verse of hope that's in that song says, but don't you believe that? See, because things do change. See?
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
The piano song. That
Yeah.
just
Yeah. I love that song. But that's what I so tell me, since you're a deeply religious man, do you believe this hypocrisy in the Middle East right now? There's Christian Jews and Muslims, and they all believe in this wonderful religion that's supposed to free mankind the way it is on earth, to release, take the burden off of your soul. Do you believe that they truly believe it, or it's something they wear on their sleeve and pull it out when they need to show, oh, I'm in the club?
well, then right now, if they do believe in it, ain't no way they're gonna get peace on it because all the bullshit that's going on over there.
Yeah, yeah.
You defend yourself the best way you can, but if you ain't got no weapons, how you gonna defend yourself,
Yeah,
man?
well, there you go. But, I think you ever heard of jujitsu?
Yeah.
Okay. Jiu-jitsu is the art of using the aggressor's forward momentum against him. Okay, you come running after me, and he uses your forward momentum to make you trip and fall forward, or your punch to make you go wrench your back and shit like that. I'm making it oversimplification, but that's kind of where we are right now. We're in a jiu-jitsu move that somebody's using.
But the other person, they're using weapons.
I understand that, but you see, I was watching this documentary. I'm gonna try to put it on the podcast, but it was a thing about Vietnam, and it was about the Vietnamese and the strategy of guerrilla warfare that they came into, and the way they said they can never lose as long as their opponent never wins. Okay, now think about that. See, because the opponent's never going to win. The Israelis never going to win. Okay, the only way they can win is they create mass genocide. They kill all 2 million and they kill everybody in the West Bank. Go ahead and do that. See what the world thinks of you. You'll never get shit from nobody. Okay, you'll be a desert, and if you think you can live without the world, go ahead, my brother, because you can't.
But ain't there all these shipments being stopped by the
Houthis in the Red Sea? Yeah, so
blowing up all the ships going on?
Well, I think they're harassing them because they got the U.S. Navy and they're intercepting their drones and stuff like that. So we're not on that's the weird part of the United States is we're not on nobody's side. Oh, you're not on nobody's side. What are you doing? You're not. They say, oh, we want to be an honest broker for peace. How the fuck can you be an honest broker for peace? See, here's the thing: is the United States don't understand that. Like I said, I'm always going to preface this because there'll be some motherfucker out there to say you don't love your country, and I'll say I'll put my love of my country against yours any day of the week, brother. Okay, sister. Okay, because I love my country. I served in its armies. I served in its military. And I also have sworn an oath to protect and defend the Constitution 3 times in my life. Okay, how many times have they done that? Okay, so don't tell me that I don't love my country. But what I say about America is they don't know that they're irrelevant yet. Because you don't have a voice anymore. No one wants to listen to your bullshit. You've lied so much. You've talked so much bullshit. The only thing the only reason why they let you in the room because you got the biggest gun. That's it. How can I use you today is what the world sees of you. But they don't take you as credible. They don't take you as a force for freedom. Every fucking thing that comes out of your mouth is a fucking lie. Every time you're involved in almost anything, you're on the wrong side. Okay? And see, I have the courage to say that. Other people don't have the courage to say that. See, you can love your country and still say it's wrong. Okay? So, But anyway, That's what I'm trying to say. I just want to understand, and you're a religious man. I just want to know. So, how do you rectify this? Being all of them want to be there. The Israelis want to be there because that's supposed to be their sacred homeland. Which, you left. It's not your home anymore. Okay. The Palestinians wants to be there because they lived there. And the Christians want to be there. What? Because that's the birthplace of Jesus. Okay. Everybody wants to be there. But see, they don't get the reason for the season. The reason is that it's supposed to be peace on earth and goodwill to all mankind. They keep not understanding that in life there are lessons, and the lessons will continue to teach you. Do you think the Jewish people, as a group of people, have learned the lessons from the Holocaust?
Nope. Yeah, they learned how to do what was done to them.
So, and they want to say, never forget, but only forget our stuff. Forget what we've done. Okay, and that brings me to my next topic. What I've just looked into I want to tell you. It says the one thing I want to know. I want to say, and I've done a little bit of research in this. I've been thinking about that for 75 years, Israelis have been on a campaign of dehumanizing the Palestinians. They have so poisoned the average Israeli's mind that they believe the rest of the world is crazy as they are. They believe that the rest of the world would cheer their extermination and genocide of the Palestinians with that old adage of self-defense. See, and I look upon them, I see these people, every statement, watch it, Kenny, go watch a YouTube video. I want you to do this. And I want everyone in this audience to go watch a YouTube video. And the first thing they come, 1,200 of our people got killed, And then tell me what's the message that you sending out to the world? 1,200 of our people were killed. So I'm authorized to kill 20,000 innocent people in the people that had the innocent civilians that had nothing to do with me. But you see, the disease is already in their mind. They have lived in that apartheid state, dehumanizing these people for those 75 years, taking everything, take their land, take their dignity, take their children, shoot at them, fuck over them. Just go on there and watch videos of the way it would make a cop in the South blush, because he would know he couldn't even get away with shit like that. The way they abuse these people, okay? The way they treat them, the way they make them go to the different roads and stuff like that. And their whole country is poisoned that way. They only see the world by their own perception. And see, some say that you can only see the world in your perception. No, because your mind has given you empathy. And, where I live in Arizona, if you fucking shoot a dog in your backyard, you'll go to jail. A dog. It could be your dog. But if you shoot it and become cruel to that dog, they will fucking put your ass in jail. Okay? Now, tell me why in this what I would consider not the pinnacle of justice state, that they would be able to do that, because people love animals.
Yeah.
Now, I would venture to say that a human being is an animal, okay? At least deserving of the same rights as that dog, right? So if you can indiscriminately kill other people, and expect and have the temerity and audacity to think the world's going to be on your side. Huh? Well, I've got something to tell you. The world ain't going to be on your side. And that comes out to my other thought here, Kenny. And then I'm going to get off this topic because we've 21 minutes in this. My other thought was saying about revenge. You ever heard the statement about revenge?
Revenge?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You remember what it says when they said be careful with revenge?
To be careful with revenge?
Yeah, it says if you be careful with revenge, dig 2 graves, one for your enemy and one for yourself.
Yeah.
Well, you've heard that before, right?
Yeah, because there's consequences behind everything.
That's right. So let me go deep on this about Israel. Israel calls its soldiers from all over the world. They came from America, they came from Europe, and they allow them to conduct a war of genocides without consequences on human beings. But what happens when those same soldiers go home to their true countries? Will these living war criminals understand the consciousness, the break of society, because you know right and wrong, okay? But you were able, remember the name of our podcast, you condone this shit, they're going to own your shit, right?
Yeah.
So they're going to come back into society, and anything that goes wrong in their life, what are they going to do? Because there's no break in their mind, okay? The rules is that we follow the rules because we know they're there. But when you take away the rules, then what you do is you poison that human being. Okay?
Yeah.
Do you think that you think that cops are? And I'm going to ask you because you were a cop. You think a cop is ever right if he kills someone?
Well,
you think he goes in and he's normal after that?
Fuck no, that shit. If you come out of that normal, you're not human, bro.
That's right. See, because there's something inside of you. There's a moral compass inside of all of us that tells us what's right. We know it. We knew it in kindergarten. It said there was a book that came out in the 70s. It said everything I needed to know about life I learned in kindergarten. We knew that we don't treat other people bad. We knew that we shared that shit. That's something that Israel probably should know, that we shared that shit. But here's what I'm saying, that these people are going to come back. They're going to come back to their countries. And tell me what kind of fucking PTSD these fucking people are going to be carrying.
They're already not talking about they're seeing ghosts over there, spirits.
But they're war criminals, and they know they know they're war criminals. You're not gonna, no matter what kind of bullshit. Like I watched a video of the Israeli colonel was talking about, well, what are you gonna do about these poor soldiers that killed their own people? Well, we're gonna give them a big hug. You think that's gonna take away? I don't care if you have people around you. You know what's right and wrong always. You always are going to know. And it's always going to haunt you. See, I am haunted by saving people, Kenny. I didn't do shit wrong. I didn't do that jack shit wrong, but try to save people. And I'm still haunted by it because I had to see them in their final moments. Okay? Mm-hmm. Now, I'm all right. I get up every day and I function, but I know it's there. I know it's sitting in the back of my mind every time I go to sleep, reliving something. I'm so exhausted that I got to just get that sleep that I need, and the rest of it I don't get. Okay? So I'm just saying, and do you think that Israel's going to pay for the PTSD that these people are going to have?
Nope.
Because they just called them in. And then they spread those people back into their community. They'll be in Los Angeles. They'll be all over the place. So when that fucker breaks and kills a bunch of people, it will be the gift that just keeps giving. Okay? That's what it's going to be. So
a lot of them was leaving America to go over there to fight the war.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, they're going over there to commit atrocities proudly, you know? So what I say is that you think there's not going to be consequences there, Kenny. Let me tell you, karma's coming for you, you know? And they can mock me and say whatever they say, but you ask any veteran, you know, the only reason that people survived World War II is because they had a supportive community, because everybody was pushing shoulders. But look, think about all the Vietnam vets that came back and they were, you know, they were being shunned because everybody knew it was an immoral war. And they had to carry that burden with you. I was in a station with a guy that all he did was cry every night, you know. Cry and scream, and what kind of fucking nightmare was that? This was the late 1980s, and the war was over in the 70s, the early 70s, and this fucker still reliving it every day. Okay, now I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but that's the shit. So you think you can go around human dynamics? You think you can go around the inalienable truth of what makes a human being a human being. Okay? See? Now, do you think I'm wrong, Kenny, or do you... and this is just the thought. See, this is a thought exercise that I went through myself, and I thought about that. I said, you know, they don't understand the consequences. All those countries in Europe and all around the world where those people have been expated from, and then they're going there and committing these things and thinking that they're doing the right thing. You know you're not doing the right thing. If you're shooting kids running from you in the back, you're not doing the right thing. If you're dropping bombs, if you're a pilot of an aircraft, first I say, curse you forever, and you drop a bomb on a house with occupied citizens. Do you know that you can't, in Arizona, it is the law in Arizona. You can't, there's like several different laws in Arizona that allows you to kill a person without, that you won't ever get prosecuted on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, known if a person's robbing a Circle K and you walk into the store, then you're allowed to shoot his ass right there. Okay, that's one of the crazy laws. The other law is arson of an occupied dwelling. Okay, so you see there's a family inside and somebody sees you with a can of gas and you're going to burn that dwelling. They get to shoot the shit out of you. And there's no consequences for their actions. So now let's extrapolate that from the pilot who drops a bomb on a civilian building. Isn't he doing the same thing as the arson of an occupied structure? Huh? I mean,
Yep.
Do you tell me if I'm wrong? Maybe sometimes I have crazy thoughts because I'm only one bubble off from being crazy. But but tell me, what do you think about that?
He gonna have some kind, man. Like I said, bro. If you can go around just killing fucking innocent people that don't have no feelings, you got mental issues, dude.
Oh yeah, there's something wrong with you.
You got hate in the heart.
Well, we already know they got hate in their heart. We just want to know. See, and that's where I find great sadness that humans can do this, that human beings can do this. Because Kenny, like I said, I'm going to tell you, I recognize myself every day I get up, and I know I'm a flawed human being. Okay, I know it. Okay, I'm not perfect. I'm flawed. Okay, but you know what I did my whole fucking life was trying to ease other people's suffer, to help them in their darkest hours. Okay. And maybe that's the fucking seesaw that keeps me up in the air all the time, because I knew that I did more good than bad. Okay. Now turn that seesaw around. And I was fucking over people all the time. I killed children. I did all this other shit. And I know I'm a flawed human being, because you are a flawed human being, because, you know, they killed the Germans because the Germans tried to say, oh, I was just following orders.
Yeah.
That was the thing. In the Nuremberg trials, and they hanged all the Nazis. They said, I was just following orders. I didn't have anything against the Jews. I was just following orders. They told me to shoot them up. I shot them up. I was a soldier, you know. And then
that's why
go ahead.
Changed their name. It came to America.
Yeah, and hide out amongst us.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what I'm trying to say is that when they caught them, that was their story. I didn't have anything against the Jews. I was just a soldier, you know. I didn't have anything against them. And then they said, well, you know, soldiers can't follow illegal orders. So let's see. Under the Geneva Convention, do you think it's a lawful order to drop bombs on civilians? Huh?
Hell no. That's what the UN is
do you
put on them for.
Yeah. And America rises to the occasion to be the fucking the immoral body that it is, because it's the only one that vetoed the immediate ceasefire, saying, oh, they need more time. They need another 1,000 people to die over there. They need some more people to die. You know, that's some
I wonder
what
America is going to get out of all this. You know what I mean?
They don't get shit. They just want to be relevant. They just want to be relevant. They want to be. Go ahead.
Because what are they getting out of this shit? Because it got to be something, because ain't no way they gonna pay us back for all the money that they sent over there.
Oh no. See, because what you understand that you got to understand AIPAC and all of these people that are pumping money to these politicians to make them. It's like having it's like a howdy doody, and they got their hand up their ass and moving their mouth. You know, we all got to be on the side of Israel. Why? Why do we have to be on a side of Israel? I don't understand that. They're our biggest friend. Well, how? Explain it to me. And no one's probably explained it to me yet. They say, oh, they're the only democracy. They're not a fucking democracy. A democracy means, what does democracy mean? Tell me what is democracy to you, Kenny? I want to understand that. Give me your explanation of democracy, and I'll give you mine.
Well, then, to me, if you're going to be going to war and all this bullshit, you don't need no help from nobody else. Go ahead and fight your shit.
Yeah, why don't you? If you starting a war, because ain't nobody started no war. They try to say, these people started it on October 7th. I said, well, as I said, I saw a video on fucking YouTube, and it had every fucking year for 75 years, had a Palestinian picture, and it showed these people being thrown out of their house. 75 years of you fucking over other people, but on October 7th, was the only day that matters. See, and that is, remember I asked you, I said, do you believe that God chose only the Israel? They're God's chosen people. And you said you don't. Of course, I don't either. I don't believe they're God's chosen people. I don't believe any people are God's chosen people. I believe that he has a love for every person. Every life means something, because in this society, in this interconnected society, we use something from each of us, and if we're all interconnected, I just want to know, as when Have you poisoned yourself so bad that you believe that you are so great and you are so important that you've got to kill 20 times as many people that was killed on your side for it to make it right? Okay? That's some hubris shit, don't you think there, Kenny?
Yeah.
Your people are worth 20 times the amount of people that were killed on that day. No.
But the first part
and I've got something to tell them. No, your people ain't worth that much more than any other person. Okay? Your people are just people. Okay? And I'm not going to buy into the religious bullshit. I'm not going to buy into God loves you or any, because if God loves you, then he would give you the light of his grace and tell you to stop killing his creatures. Wouldn't you say, Kenny?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, hey, I want to talk about, I'm going to get off this topic because it boils my blood every time. I got 3 documentaries that people should, if you want to be enlighten yourself on Israelis' lifestyle and their apartheid regime. I've got 3 documentaries that will help you out. Israelism on Netflix. Okay. And I know these are good because the Israeli government doesn't want you. See, and this is the one thing I'm going to give an opinion right here. You know, all the people who are the fuck ups in society that, like if you notice that the South is the one that says they don't want any critical race theory because they don't want their kids to feel ashamed of what grandpa did to the black people. You know, they don't want history to tell the story of their depravity, their hatred for another human being. They want to cover that up. So, as Israel wants them to cover up their shit. So there's a documentary called Tantur. That's a documentary, and Farrar. Okay, I think they're all on Netflix, and they will give you an insight into what it's like to be a Palestinian and what the Israeli government has been doing to the Palestinian for 75 years. So, and let me give a little question to Israel. If you haven't broke them in 75 years, just give up and embrace them. You know?
Yeah.
You can't break these people. You can't break a people yearning to be free. And I say to you, by the struggles of slaves that lived in America, you can't stop a people yearning to be free. No matter what you try to, the United States government tried it, 200 years of slavery and 100 years of Jim Crow, and the people still rose. So, so I just want you to know, save yourself the anguish, save yourself the wasted resources, and embrace those people and take them in as your brother. Okay, now I got one more thing. I didn't cover this before the podcast, but I want to say it right now. There's a thing on YouTube, and you got to go watch it. It's an Israeli videos mocking Palestinian suffering. Okay, and these people are sitting up there, because they cut off the water and the electricity. And these Israelis are sitting up there. Oh, look, I got electricity. Poor Palestinians ain't got none. The guy drinking water, saying this shit, and playing with dolls, saying, "Oh, well, my baby died." And it's a doll, saying that's the big old mean from Israel is that all these dead babies are. See, they got 40 beheaded babies, but they only have, the Israelis. I mean, the Palestinians got dolls. You know what I'm saying? That's not real people. Okay. So Anyway, that's what I say. Watch those videos and then tell me about God's chosen people, because I don't think that's God's chosen people, you know, because if you sit there and mock human suffering and think it's a smart thing to do, you think you're getting over on that, you know, all you're doing is like Maya Angelou says, when people show you who they are, believe them. Okay, so on with that, Kenny. I got that. What do you think about the Supreme Court refusing to take up Jack Smith's filing for authority over the question of if the president has immunity for prosecution? Go, Kenny.
Well, then that's what they did the last time, right? When they tried to get Trump out of the White House. They couldn't really press charges because he had immunity while he was president, right?
No. Because see, they impeached him, so he didn't have immunity. They impeached him, and as I recall, Mitch McConnell. What is it, Mitch? Fuck. Anyway, you know, Mitch. The Republican leader got on the Senate floor and said he didn't get away with nothing. He still he can be held accountable by the law. Now, him and them, they want to say he's got immunity. You know, there's some double speaking motherfuckers, aren't they? You know, well, he didn't get away with anything. He could still be prosecuted for what happened here. And then they try to prosecute him, and half of them are saying, oh, he's immune to prosecute because he was president. Now, see, here's the thing. Now, if he's immune to prosecution, let me give him a thing. If he ever in the same room with Joe Biden while he's president, and Joe Biden pulls out a Luger and shoots him 40 times, then he'll be immune too, huh? Said, hey, I'm immune. The Supreme Court says I'm immune. That's a dangerous precedent to set, isn't it? Because here's what he's going to say. Hey, I'm immune. Because you don't want, Joe might have a senior moment there. Hey, he said, this fucker's going to be president, and I'll take care of that. So,
has Biden ever been in the military?
No, he hasn't. Biden was one of the youngest senators there ever was. So he was in his 20s. I don't think he was ever in the military. His son, Bo, was in the military, but he was, I don't think
Didn't he have another son that died or some shit?
That was his son, Bo, in the military. Oh. And the other one, what's the other one? Hunter Biden. That's the one with all the dick pics and stuff like that. Well, anyway, so now we're going to come up with some best Christmas ever, Kenny. Tell me your best Christmas ever.
When I was a kid, and my mom and dad, they was like breaking their necks trying to go and get the our gift. You know what I mean? And I seen my mom crying and stuff, and my daddy just said, "Let's go. We got to get it some kind of way." They left us with somebody, babysitter, while they go out and do their thing. And they came back with them gifts, man. And my mama was just looking at me and my brother, seeing if we was happy. But I understood back then, you know.
Yeah.
She ain't really had fucking money, bro. But just to see her smile just because we was happy, you know.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You know, my best. Yeah. Well, see, but you see that's you know, and I think that's the childlike innocent. And see, I'm going to tell you something, Kenny. I'm going to tell you something, and let me see if I'm going to be right. I said, I know that you feel that you're in the darkest moment right now, but I guarantee you that light will come to you, my brother. So I guarantee you better things will come your way. So anyway, my best Christmas ever was the year I got out of the Air Force. Okay. Yeah. The year I got out of the Air Force, I had a horrible time. I drove to Alaska on the Alcan Highway, and that was a rough ass highway. People would warn me, but I didn't think that was going to be that rough. But it was rough, man. I almost fell off the cliff a couple of times and shit like that. Driving up there with my little only child I had, and going.
You was married right there?
Oh yeah, I got married in the Air Force. Yeah.
Oh.
In fact, I got married at March Air Force Base.
Yeah, that's where you met your wife?
Yeah, I met her in high school in computer class. Okay. So anyway, and so we went together for about 5 years, and then we got married. So, and I was in the Air Force. So I got married, and so we were driving to Alaska. First, the Air Force sent me to hellhole, which was Arizona. And then for the last year that I was in the Air Force, they said, "Oh well, we've already sent you to hell. Let's send you to Frosty the Snowman area." So they sent me to Alaska. So and it was in the middle of nowhere, Alaska. See, I'm not going to go into it, but there's a trick the Air Force plays. They put these little thing they call FAA service stations all around the Alaska. Alaska doesn't have a lot of like roadways around there. They do everything by private planes and airplanes. So they have a lot of airports in Alaska. So, and some of those airports are Air Force bases. So anyway, they sent me to one of these little satellite Air Force bases where they park 3 jets so that some Russian MiG comes over the Arctic Circle, they can intercept them before they get to America. Anyway, so I was there, and I was living, and you probably seen those old World War II movies where they have these dormitories that they're in these little bitty houses. They're like 800 square feet. Well, I couldn't afford a regular apartment because I was living off the Air Force pay, and to give you an idea of how little amount of pay that I've made in the Air Force, I think I was making like $300 a month. By the time I got to Alaska, I was probably making about $700 a month. And my wife was making almost 3 times what I was making. So anyway, I still owned a house in Arizona, and I drove up there, and I was staying in what they call billeting. And we were in billeting, and then I got you can only stay there some certain amount of days. So I got this apartment, and what it was is that the government had condemned these buildings because they were World War II buildings. They were built in World War II to put soldiers up. So they were really tight. I'll tell you how small it is. I had a king-size bed, and I put it in the room, and I laid it on the floor, and the king-size bed took up the whole room. That's how small it was.
Wow.
And so, okay, so, and I was there I had my family, I had my little daughter and my wife, and a chicken in Alaska, because that was when the pipelines broke. Everything was really expensive. So I bought a chicken. We couldn't afford a turkey, but I could buy a chicken, and the chicken was like $9 for a chicken, something that a chicken was like, $2 or $1.80 in Arizona. So it was $9 for a chicken, and we burnt the fucking chicken on Christmas.
What?
And it was the best Christmas. I said, well, fuck that. The chicken's burned. You could go to the mess hall and eat. So I went to the mess hall and had Christmas. And there I saw the Los Angeles Rams cheerleaders were there and stuff. And and I went back home, spent time with my family. And it was the best Christmas I ever had because I had my family. I had suffered through the gauntlet of the Alcan Highway. I had made it to Alaska, and I was in this little dinky-ass uh, apartment that had 2 bedrooms in it, and and you like my living room is about the same size as that apartment was back in the day.
Yeah.
But it was the best Christmas ever because I knew my family was safe, and I was just sitting there watching a 13-inch color television, and it was great. It was like the best Christmas ever. So, and all the adversity that was thrown upon me, it didn't matter because I had family, and I was with people who loved me, and I could look down at my daughter's eyes and see the magic that she thought was Christmas. She only got like one gift, but she thought it was the greatest Christmas ever. So, but she was only 2 years old. So there you go. But anyway, that's my best Christmas ever. And I didn't get a lot of presents and stuff like that. And the only thing I could remember was the songs on "What Do You Get a Whoopee, a Woofy? Oh, what is the thing on Star Wars?
A Wookiee?
Wookiee. What do you get a Wookiee for Christmas when he already got a cold?
What?
Well, that was the name of the song.
Oh, that was.
Hey, what do you get a Wookiee for Christmas when he already got a cold? Okay, now I promise you, I said we're going to tell you how did we get some of the crazy shit that we think about in Christmas. I said Christmas is supposed to be a celebration of the birth of Jesus, but if you match up the times of events associated with the birth, it's virtually certain it wasn't in winter, but indigenous people from every northern hemisphere continent and shamanic ceremonies and celebrations associated with pushing back winter's darkness and returning the sun to full illumination. Okay? And this is from, and I got this from not myself. I didn't make this shit up. It says, does Christmas hold the promise of light after dark? And this is from Tom Hartman, which is a celebrated progressive radio host. So, this is a letter that he sent to me this morning. Christmas is self-imposed. Is supposed to be a celebration of the birth of Jesus, but if you match up the times and events associated with his birth, it's a virtual certainty it wasn't in winter, but indigenous people from every northern hemisphere continent had shamanic ceremonies and celebrations associated with pushing back the winter darkness and returning the sun to full illumination. Early Christian governments, seeing that it was impossible to stamp out these holidays and celebrations, simply overlaid them with the Christ story, bringing us the celebration and the traditions we have today. Huh? So, did you know that, Kenny? For example, Norwegians tell the story of the 10th century King Haakon the Good, who had been raised as a Christian in England, wanted to bring that religion to his homeland. As a Norwegian historian, Snorre Sturluson, wrote, he in his book, King History of the King of Norway. I can't say Norwegian word. He had it established in laws that Yule ceremony was to take place at the same time as the customs with Christmas. For millennium across Europe, Arctic Circle around the North Pole, from Scandinavian through Siberian, indigenous Shermans sought out red and white mushrooms. And the name of them is Acamethus carcarius, and dried them in stockings hung over the fireplace. You're seeing some correlation here. These mushrooms contained a powerful psychedelic mark. I'm going to spell it out because I'm going to butcher the word. muscimol. Marxamol. Okay. But
it's just called a mushroom.
Okay. But they are laced with compounds poisonous to humans. Reindeer, however, love to eat these mushrooms. And when they do, they behave oddly, as if their names were Dancer and Prancer. These reindeer's livers metabolize and thus neutralize the compounds that's poisonous to humans, but leave the psychedelic mushroom, I'm going to say, just say it's marcolone, largely untouched. Thus, reindeer urine on fresh snow is powerfully psychedelic. Arctic shamans around this time of year would leave batches of dried amard mushrooms out in the snow for hungry reindeers who considered them a delicacy. The shamans would then follow the reindeers as they danced and played high on the shrooms, gathering the fresh yellow snow to make a holiday grog.
A holiday what?
Grog, like eggnog, a grog. You know, you never heard of pirates talk about, give me my grog. It's it's an alcoholic drink or something. They call it a grog. You never heard that? Yeah. Anyway, this is also the time that the father of the gods in Norse religion, with long white beard, Odin, would ride his 8-legged horse, pronounced Sleipnir, bringing good people small gifts. Huh?
That's crazy. That is crazy.
Hey, made by Odin's men in Asgard, his attic retreat. The story seems to have morphed as it traveled out of Norway and Sweden from men to elves, and from 8-legged to 8 reindeer. See, he had an 8-legged sleigh, but now he has an eight reindeer. Odin controls the power of Thor and lightning, Donner and Blitzer in today's Germanic and Scandinavian language. Get it? You getting it?
I'm listening to you.
There are also multiple goddesses connected to the holiday, reindeers, and the Santa story, as Judith Shaw documents here. The indigenous people of northern Scandinavia, the Samen, believe that when the sun, characterized as a female deity named Bedouin, went dim in the winter, she was sick. They put fat over their doorways to nourish Bedouin and bring the sun back to its full glory. They also sacrifice white reindeers in the hope the ceremony would revive Bedouin. With white reindeer weren't available, they sacrificed other animals decorated with white ribbons. The reindeer's favorite food, the mushrooms, look like clothing shamans and Santa wore, red and white trim, with red and white trim with white spots. They were rotund. You would call them chubby. Thus, Santa represents mushrooms in the Arctic culture lore. And get this, the armatus, which is the mushrooms, grow under pine tree because their mycosine or fungo fulfill their extended underground transport minerals from the soil into the roots of the pine tree, who return the favor by transporting carbohydrates from year-round photosynthesis to their needles down through their roots to the microcrocins to nourish the mushrooms. Antimons are only found under palm trees and spruce trees because of this symbolic relationship that keeps them both healthy. And today, pine trees and spruce are pretty much the only trees we use to decorate our homes at this time of year. Huh? How about that, Kenny? While Christmas Eve was the darkest of times in the Northern Hemisphere, it held the greatest promise for the entire new year to come. Indigenous Europeans and Siberian shamans and their communities would light their pine trees with candles, put lights symbolizing the North Star, identifying the axis around which our world revolves atop their tree, and consume their reindeer yellow snow on the darkest nights, intoxicated or allowed to enter the spirit realm by the animals' psychedelic. From the reindeer urine, the ancient shamans used the power of the spirit and nature to fly in the sky to visit the spirit world and resurrect the longer and warmer days of their people, bringing back the gifts and spiritual illumination, healing, and renewal of life. Several of our modern religions, including Judaism and Catholicism, hold this survival and renewal of life, of light and life at its core belief of their winter solstice holy days. Okay, so you see how this is all connected. During these short, dark days and long nights, let's remember this ancient knowledge that illumination always follows darkness, and that with love and compassion, we will relight our nation and lives. May Christmas and the warmest regards for whatever holiday you and yours may celebrate or not during this holy and transforming season. May all your dreams and good works be realized as our sun's eternal energy returns to full life in our part of the year in the coming new year. So, there you go. What do you think, Kenny? So, you learned all about how we got all of this shit how we get the lit Christmas tree, how we got the fucking Santa suit from mushrooms, and and how in darkness we will one day find light.
Them people that twist that whole thing up for Christmas, man.
Well, hey, remember I tell you, everybody likes a good story, don't they? Huh?
Yeah.
But all of it comes in little different, you can see all of it starts to come in there. And especially when you're thinking about, all of it has an interlacing, it's interlacing. And that, just like the Bible and all the stories that are told, I think the Bible is a moral tale that people don't take it, some people take it literally, but I think it's based to give you a moral foundation, that you don't kill people, that you don't hurt people, that you try to do unto others like you would have them do unto you. That the stories may have been developed by a man, but the most important thing of that story is that we be good to each other, that we love each other, that we understand that we all have this finite time on this big blue marble, that we should know that what we reap, we shall sow, that we do good in this world and it will come back to us. I know right now you probably don't think that that's a good message, but I believe in that. And that I'm not a believer, but I believe that good comes to good people,
Mm-hmm.
So, and I believe you're one of the good people there, Kenny. So
thank you, bro.
Good will come to you. But I believe in this coming year, you'll say it's like magic. You'll say, hey, good shit came to me. He was right. I always tell the story. There was once a guy, and he won't ever listen to this podcast, but this is my last parable for this podcast, because next for this year. But it was a guy, we were working together on the fire department, and we were working on the rescue, and he was so despondent. He told me, he said, hey, he got divorced, and I guess his wife was cheating on him, and he said, man, I can't live without being married. I said, why? He says, well, I just can't do it. I'm made to be married. I said, nobody's made to be married. You can be good at it, you can be bad at it, but nobody's made to be married. Okay, you can live without being. I said, and I want you to listen to this story, Kenny, because I'm going to show you how profound my words are. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I told him, I said, you know what? I'm going to tell you this, and you're not going to believe this because you're in your darkest hour right now. Let me tell you. I said, this too shall pass, and you will be better off. Oh, no, I won't be better off. I know. This is I just know. He said, I don't know if I'm going to make it. I said, you'll make it. So, fast forward 2 years. I'm at a party, and I see him, and he's got his wife there. New wife. She is gorgeous. I'm talking supermodel gorgeous, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I'm not going to give specifics as to it because I don't want to give the guy shit away. So, anyway, he gets married to her. Her father owns like a whole bunch of high-rises in downtown Phoenix. Okay. She's loaded, got money up the ass. Okay. She's beautiful. She's gorgeous, right? Okay. Then the guy goes on and buys this guy a 1,000 or 10,000 acre ranch. Really didn't buy him. You know how rich people do. They put it in the corporation and they let you live there. So he, and the guy, the father gives him a plane, an airplane, Kenny.
What?
Yeah. He takes off. He drives from work from the fire station, jumps out of his car, parks it into a hangar, jumps into his plane and flies to his secluded ranch about a half an hour away from Phoenix, lands there, and goes home. And then comes back 2 days later with his plane and lands and goes on about his way. So, when I asked you, did things get better for him? Huh?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? He's fucking, he's fucking married to an heiress. He's got his own ranch. He's got his own plane, and he's got a beautiful wife. So, what didn't the world get better for him?
It got way better. It got what's a better another word for better?
Exponentially. What is to the 10th power?
Yeah, that one there to the 10th power.
Yeah, to the 10th power. So, when I say it's always dark, but hey, he couldn't live without this woman. I said, don't you believe it? See? So, here's a guy without faith, but full of hope. And that's what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to tell you, like I said, and I asked him later on, I said, hey, so did the world get better? He said, oh, yeah, it got better. It got better. So there you go. So he didn't need to work any days in his life, except that, when you marry rich people, they make sure that you ain't going to get none of their fucking money. I guarantee you that. So you can only hang on to it for as long as you can. So, but that's the story. And the moral of the story is from darkness comes light. The sun will always come up. And what do they say? It's always darkest before the dawn. And, even for the Palestinians, I believe that one day that where they're living now will become a paradise like Dubai or something like that. And that they will look back on that and tell stories of how they fought the struggle. And I believe that what their cause is a just cause because they belong there. Okay. The Israeli people who say that they belong there, your cause is not a just cause because you are not a democracy and you are an apartheid state. So that's just a personal opinion. I'm not denying that they deserve a place to be, but if you came there and you said they're the only democracy, but you never did answer my question. I said, what's a democracy? And you never did answer my question, Kenny. So answer my question. What's a democracy?
I couldn't really tell you, bro, because the shit changes. Everybody got a different.
Well, people can always say bullshit about what it is. Democracy is from the Greek word demos, which means which means of the people. Okay, so when half of the people can't vote, is it a democracy?
Hell no.
Okay, there you go. It's not a democracy. They say they're the only democracy. No, they're the only apartheid country. No, but there are other ones. Saudi Arabia is an apartheid country and stuff like that. But they've been like that for years. These people came from democracies. They came from civilized governments, and then they came there to impose apartheid on the people that were living there. How about that? Okay. But anyway, I know I'm rough on them, but I hope that maybe they will see the errors of their ways in the coming years. And if not, then I don't have too much hope for Israel as a country if they continue on the journey. And I think the world has seen that, because as I said, they have shown us who they are. So the world should believe them. You can't see. It's just like what I just told you about the United States. They have no credibility, and they struggle for relevancy. And you know why? They sold all that relevancy and their moral authority by prosecuting unjust wars. Okay? Nobody's going to think and listen to them on bullshit, on anything. They only listen to them because they got a big stick. That's the only way they listen to them, but they don't think they're a moral authority on anything. How can we be a moral authority on any type of issue when we don't have universal health care? We The only thing our God is only money, huh? That would be it. In
Yep.
God we trust. On our money, well, I don't know what they should say. Is in money we trust, and that is our God. Ooh, I like that one. Well, anyway, so anyway, Kenny, I hope the year brings you a gift. That is my hope, my humble hope, that things will get better, and that you will find something a lot better than what you had in this last year. So,
Yes,
um,
sir.
and
Same to you, brother. Wishing
well,
you the best.
hey, well, you know what? I am blessed with more gifts than I could ever imagine there, man, because I never thought I'd live this long, and I have done, and every day is a gift, and that's why they call it the present, huh? Every day is a gift, and every day brings hope to me, and every day brings joy to me. So, I money is not the the beginning and the end to me. It's happiness and being around people that I care about, and doing this with you, because it's cathartic to me. It takes away a lot of my stress because I put it in this podcast. Well, Kenny, with that, I will see you next year, and I hope to get these podcasts up on the website, and I'm going to let your song play us out. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
The world is spinning out of control. A never-ending cycle of blood and soul. Families torn apart, children left alone. As they march to the battlefield with hearts of stone. Why are they killing everyone? Is it worth the damage done? Our tears fall like the rain as we watch them die in vain. Bombs exploding, bullets flying all around us. There's no denying the horror of war. The price we pay for our leaders, greed, day after day. Why are they killing everyone? Is it worth the damage done? Our tears fall like the rain as we watch them die in vain.
Kenny and the Scalawag out.